Here we are, Monday night, February the 26th, 2018. It's 8:58 in the evening, and we have our first accountability call with myself and marketing consultant Heather Belle. I'm very excited to hear how things went after a very successful and well-received Sunday Purge call last night. So, Heather, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, however it was, I want to hear about your day. It's okay. Don't apologize for anything. Sometimes people say, oh, well, I made my calls and I only got voicemail. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. All I need to know is how it was, and then we coach accordingly. All right, lovely?
Okay, the truth.
Yes, as it happened.
Okay. So, all right. So what I decided to do is on my way to work, I've got a 25, 30-minute drive to work in the morning. So I decided, okay, that's when I'm going to make some calls. So I got my
What
list
time is that?
here.
What time do you drive in?
Between, I would say 7:45 to 8:30.
Okay.
It's only.
You're not worried that's too early? Is that not too early for people, or what do you think?
No, I wouldn't say.
Okay. All right.
Because a lot of people are driving to work at that time, and
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not.
the people that I was calling, the people that I was
Gotcha.
calling. Anyway, and I did have a stop I had to make along the way before work, so I kind of split it up. So I called. The first call I made was to Pamela. So I thought, let me take the easy one first.
Okay.
I cheated.
Sounds good to me.
So I called her. Of course, it was funny. I didn't have her number, so I had to dig through my purse and find her business card. I found it. So then I put her on my contact list, and I called her, and I got her voicemail. And her voicemail was her real estate voicemail. So I just basically just said, hey, this is Heather from church. Remember, I'm the one that sits in front of you, and I just said, hey, it'd be nice to. We mentioned that it would be good to get together sometime, and so I just said, be good to get together sometime. So give me a call, and let's pick an evening maybe this week. So I just left her a short message, and I did not hear back from her today.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's fine. Pamela was going to be the meeting we were going to divide into two, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So that's perfectly fine. Very often people ask me the question, what do you do on a voicemail? And they say, and people don't leave voicemails. I say you do leave a voicemail. So in the case of Pamela, it's real easy because you're just arranging, to get together for coffee and, and have a girl time together, and that's great. But if we're going to invite her, let's just cover that really quickly for a coaching opportunity. Voicemails we have a kind of like a rule of 4 for voicemails. So we always leave a message, and we leave. But we only do 4 voicemails, after which we take it away because we don't want to be, sounding desperate and constantly calling. So the first voicemail would be, so let's pretend this wasn't a 2-part meeting, and the way you did it was perfect. It's the first point.
Okay.
That was perfect. She'll call you back, arrange your get-together, and that's fine. But let's pretend this was an opportunity to invite her. But again, you got the voicemail. So you call her, and you say, hey, Pamela, this is Heather here. You know me from church. Remember, I'm the girl who sits in front of you. Something I need to talk to you about. Give me a call. That's it.
Yeah.
So just, enough to, a little bit of intentionality in there, a little bit of posture, and that's it. If she doesn't call you back, then the same day you have permission, or you can grant yourself permission to call a second time. Say, hey, Pamela, I left you a message. Hey, Pamela, this is Heather again. Left you a message earlier today. I haven't heard back. Something I need to talk to you about. Give me a call. So the first 2 voicemail messages you can do on the first day. Now, let's say she still hasn't called you back. The third voicemail, this is now going to be the second day. So the third voicemail is now the next day. and I'll say, hey, Pamela, I left you a couple of messages yesterday. This is Heather from church again. I haven't heard back. I hope everything's okay. Give me a call when you get a chance. So you can hear in there, I've put a little bit of concern because I'm going to guilt her into calling me.
Right.
All right. So the third voicemail, we put a little bit of concern. Hope everything's okay. Give me a call back. And then if she still hasn't called you back, then the next day, so the fourth voicemail is on the third day, okay, is basically now we're going to take it away because we don't want to be constantly leaving voicemails. Two reasons. Number one, we sound desperate. We become a little bit of a nuisance, but it also stops us getting on with calls to people who may be there to answer their phones. So the fourth message I'll leave, I'll say, hey, Pamela, it's Heather again. I've left you a few messages over the past couple of days. I'm thinking you must be out of town or something's going on. I don't want to keep hassling you, so this is the last time I'm going to call you. But when you get this message, give me a call. Thanks very much. Bye. Okay? So a little bit of posture in there. You've taken the power back. So, again, it's like the things we talked about yesterday. That's how you deal with voicemails if you're not getting calls back. It keeps you with the power. And then we put that person on our drip list for a call back in a couple of months.
Yes.
Okay? Because what that does is it keeps momentum of us getting through our list. We don't get hung up on anybody. That's why the purge call is called the purge call. We purge our lists so we're not constantly looking at the same names week after week after week. You know, he said he would do it. She said she would do it, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why we do this purge, is to keep us going through the list. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Other than that, you did your job in this particular case perfectly. I was just taking that as a coaching opportunity. So, all right, so we'll wait to hear back from Pamela. What's the next one?
Well, Steve was first on the list. So after I ran my errand, before I got to work, I called. Okay, I thought I called Steve. Okay, this is a funny story. So I looked through my contact list, and I'm looking for Steve. Okay, well, I come across this name. All it says is Steve. So I thought, okay, I don't know any more Steve, so it must be Steve. Steve, I'm looking for.
Okay, awesome. I love it already. This sounds like it's going to be a really awkward call.
It could have been.
Okay.
So anyway, thank God he didn't answer is all I've got to say. So anyway, I call, and, I'm driving to work, and I call, and all I got was, you know how there's no voice. It's just, okay, the number. You've reached blah, 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 the number. And so I said, hey, Steve, this is Heather, Belle Simmons, because he might know 10 Heathers for all I know. So I said, hey, Steve, this is Heather. I said, haven't talked to you in a while. I said, listen, something I'd like to talk to you about. Would you give me a call? So, and now I left it at that. So I got at work. And it was a little, it was nuts. I get at work, and our computers, everything was shut down completely. Oh, no internet whatsoever at work.
Okay.
So of course, it's nuts because people are calling in, and I'm answering the phone, and I can't help them because I cannot get on the computer and look at their appointments and blah, blah, blah. So, well, while I'm probably on the phone with somebody, my cell phone is sitting there next to me on silent at work. We can have our phones. So it's next to me, but it's on silent. So I see the phone ringing, and it's Steve calling me back. So I couldn't answer because I'm on the phone. But when I get off the phone, I check the voice. He'd left a voicemail. So I check the voicemail. And you know how you can, when you look at the voicemail, you can read it, words?
Yes.
So the words are there, and it goes, hey, Heather, this is Steve Jen returning your call. And I thought, oh, my God, that's not the Steve I thought I was calling. So turns out I know who this second Steve is. He's a man that works at a dealership. I bought a vehicle from him about 6 years ago. So, well, there's a bonus because he called me back, and now I can add him to my list.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That's awesome.
So anyway, I didn't, and then I thought, oh my God, did I say anything else on my first message to the Steve I thought I was calling? Because then I didn't want to, that would be rude or something. I don't want to tell him that, oh, I thought I was calling somebody else. So then he even texted me, and he says, hey, what's up? Saw that he left you a voicemail or whatever. So anyway, when I got the text from him, I had left work, and I go to Bible studies on Monday nights right now for 7 weeks. So this was week 5. And so I'm on my way, and I was just walking in to Bible study, and he had texted me. So I'm in there, and I can't be calling people. So I texted him back, and I said, hey, I'm in Bible study. I said, can I call you? What's a good time to call you tomorrow? And he said, whatever's good for you. And I said, well, either before 8:30 or after 5. And he said either. And I said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. So now I've got somebody else to talk to. In the meantime, when I realized that I didn't get the right Steve, I decided, okay, so I don't even have Steve's number. So I looked up his wife's number. I know his wife. I know I've got her cell phone number. So I called her on the way to Bible study, and she didn't answer. But I did leave her a voicemail, and I said, hey, Krisha, it's Heather. How you doing? Listen, just wanted to talk with you about something. Can you give me a call back? I'm on my way to Bible study, but if you'll give me a call back, then whatever. I don't know what I said. I didn't say anything. Didn't say anything, in detail. But I have not heard back from her tonight. I got out about right before I text you, I let you know I was available. I had not heard back from her. I don't think it's appropriate to call people after 9 o'clock at night. That's kind of my rule, because I wouldn't want anybody calling me after 9. But Krisha is very, Steve's wife, she's very appropriate, and I know she will call me back. She was probably just busy with something. What I'd like to do with Steve, they live just 5 minutes from my house. I want to basically, when I talk to either Steve or Krisha, I want to say, hey, let's see, what am I going to say? I've got my script here. Mm-hmm. But basically, I would say, hey, Krisha, how you been doing? And I just want, I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I'm on my way to work, and just wanted to see if you got a couple minutes. And she'll say yes, and I'll say, well, listen, let's see. I forget how this starts.
Take your time.
Now.
Take your time. Take your time.
I lost my script from last night. It's somewhere. I think I left it in my car, actually. But I know I'm supposed to say, kind of like my why next, about my parents. I just forget how I'm supposed to go about starting it off.
Well, I would say to kind of remind you, I'd say, hey, Tricia, this is Heather here. I'm in a little bit of a hurry. I'm on my way to work, but I've been meaning to give you a call. Do you have a couple of minutes? She says yes, and then you'll say, well, the reason why I've been giving you a call is because, Donnie and I are, approaching our retirement age, and I've been a little bit concerned that we're not going to have sufficient retirement. And so we've started a new business project that I'm really excited about. It's going to, it's not only going to get my retirement paid, but I can't remember what your other why is. I'm looking through my notes here.
My parents, my aging parents.
Oh, that's right. But it's going to make sure I take care of my parents as they get to their old age as well. And the reason why I'm calling you, okay, again, we're going to have the reason. The reason I'm calling you is yes,
because, I wanted to The reason why I'm calling you is because, I thought of you because I know you and Steve, you're, I'm sure you're looking at retirement also. And then on top of that, you've got that new grandson that I'm sure you probably want to, be putting away some money for his college, down the road. And anyway, I wanted to ask you, I wanted to show you this, just get together and show you. This is funny. I'm just getting a message from Krisha now, a text message. That's funny. So
how funny is that?
Steve. So anyway, yeah,
right.
I told her to get back to me.
See?
Anyway, let's see. So I would, I'm sorry, I'm just nervous. That's all. But
that's okay,
I would
lovely.
just say,
take your time.
Look, I'd really love to, I'd really love to get together with you and Steve and show you what I'm doing. Because this may be something that you're interested in. It may or may not be something you're interested in, but I really think if I did not share this with you, I'd be doing, you an injustice. So,
love it.
When could we get together and, 30 minutes, I can come to your place. We can, just meet up 30 minutes where I'd like to meet up with you and Steve together. I mean, I'd like to, the two of them together.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then she will, then we'll set a date.
Okay. A little bit of coaching. First of all, obviously you don't have your script in front of you now, but make sure you do so that you're kind of, and kind of say it out loud to yourself so you're comfortable saying it. But here's a couple of things I would slightly adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I would, in the purpose part, you went straight into, I know you're going to be retiring soon as well on this, and so you should take a look at what we're doing. Remember the purpose is in two parts because we need something to go back to if she's not interested. So I'm in a hurry. I explained my why, which you did great. You had the hooks. I started new business projects I'm really excited about. It's going to get our retirement paid, but not only that, it's going to help me, take care of my parents too. But the reason why I'm calling you, now remember the purpose is in two halves. The first half is because I want you to know what I'm doing. I just want you to know what I'm doing, so that that you can refer me if it's appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
The reason why we do that is it's a nice fallback. If they say, look, it's not my cup of tea, I'm not interested, we can make them a customer and we can use them for referrals. And we've kind of set ourselves up for that in the invite. So during the purpose of the call, the first part is I want you to take a look at what I'm doing because I just want you to know what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay. And so that you can refer me. The second part is then the part you talked about. Say, look, I know that you and Steve are, you're a similar age to Donnie and I, and I know you have retirement coming around the corner as well. And this may be something that would make sense for you too. Nice and simple. Then you're not wordy. I was thinking about you guys because you're the same age as us, and it may be something that will help you with your retirement too. Nice and simple, no stuttering or gaps or anything, really easy to do. Listen, I don't know if it's going to be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. Now, and you did that well, but here's where we need a little bit more intentionality. I don't want to ask them when they've got time. I want to be really intentional and postured in the time. I don't want to say, when can we get together? That gives them too much of the power. I would say, so what I'd like to do is maybe pop over one evening, grab a cup of coffee, and so we can have a look at what we're doing. I can make tomorrow night is really good for me, or I can do a Thursday, or if not, we can go after church on Sunday. Is there a better time?
Okay.
Because that's got posture, intentionality, and they're now thinking about when rather than should I meet.
So I should always put some times out there.
That's right. You're putting some intentionality. It says because it says you're busy, right? You got to make sure your times. It says you're busy because it's good posture, but it also actually is a very old rank Xerox sales technique back from the 1970s, 1980s. And I don't usually like sales techniques, but this one I do like. Is the alternative close, and it's a gentle thing. It's like when you're selling a dress, rather than would you like to buy a dress or not, It's do you prefer the blue one or do you prefer the green one?
Right.
Because it's a yes either way, and she's now thinking green or blue, not should I buy the dress or not. And that's the same thing with an appointment like this, to say, look, I can get together tomorrow after work, or Thursday's good for me too, or if not, then maybe you could do the weekend, which is best for you. Okay, so there's a lot of posture in there.
All right. So I wasn't sure if when I could not get a hold of either person right away, so I moved on to number 3.
That's great. That's what you should do.
And that was Trixie, and I didn't have her number, remember? So I got on Facebook, and I sent her a message on Messenger, and I just said, hey, and I've wished her a happy birthday, so she knows who I am and all that. And but I just got on and sent her a message, and I said, hey, Trixie, this is Heather. Got something I'd like to talk to you about. Can I get your phone number, or you can go ahead and call me? And I gave her my number, and I just left it at that.
Great.
But I haven't heard from her.
Okay.
I haven't heard from her.
That's great. So a good day.
Yeah.
Yes?
A good day. I'm just, I guess when you have an accountability, somebody that you've got to do something, because or you're going to be mean to me tonight.
Put you across my knee, young lady.
So, and then I went to my Bible study, and there's a lady in my Bible study that, I've already been talking to her with Ambit, and it's funny because I just signed up a customer, a woman and her husband last Sunday, and the house that they were buying a new house, so I signed them up as a customer. Well, the house that they're selling, this friend of mine is actually moving into that house, their old house, and she's like, I was looking into it to see if I could be your customer, and then but she can't because they're not in that area. And I told her, I said, she knows about Ambit. She knows Ambit's a wonderful business and all that. And I said, look, I go to the meetings every Tuesday night, and I'm going to keep inviting you. And so, I just keep, we're kind of like friends. So I just said, I'm going to keep inviting you until you come. So she said, one of these Tuesdays I'm going to come to the meeting. So, she knows about it. She's looked at the business. And she said, it's something I may, right now it's just not on my, I've got a full deck. So she said, it's something down the road. I know it's an awesome business, and it's something that I may be interested in. And so
Good.
Whatever, just sincere.
So now what are you going to do about making sure you get back to her? Do you just leave it out there, or do you calendarize a time to call back?
Who?
This girl you just had the Bible study, the one you're going to take to the meeting.
Oh, well, basically I invite her every week. And I do.
I love it.
I've already told her. I said I'm not giving up on you. I'm going to keep inviting you until you come, and then so that you can at least see not just the video. I said, but you can come and actually see a business presentation. So,
she hasn't seen the business presentation yet.
Probably 4 times. So, and her husband.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But she hasn't seen it yet, right?
Not the business presentation. No, she's seen the video.
Okay. So first of all, your tenacity is perfect, and you're keeping it lighthearted, which is great as well. But I'd say, listen, I keep inviting you. I do want you to take a look at what I'm doing, and of course I'd love you to do it with me. But here's what I really want you to understand: if it's not your cup of tea or the timing is wrong, that's perfectly fine. But I would really like you to see what I do so that you can refer me to other people. So let's get you to the next Tuesday. Let's put it in the calendar for next Tuesday, and let's just make it happen. Again, whether you do it or not is perfectly fine, but, so you can kind of add a little bit more to that, I think.
Yeah, we did discuss referrals also, too.
Great. Okay, good. So you're ahead of the game. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got
certain people.
Understand. Okay, good. So you've had there's 4 people you've kind of had some interaction with today, which is great.
More.
And you've added. That's okay.
I may have had more. I guess I just haven't kept track of everything.
That's fine. And that's why we do these accountability calls. Again, you kind of nailed it, that when someone's waiting for you to call, you better have something done. And that's not a bad thing. You certainly have to do that in your job. You certainly have to do that at school. And this is going to, a job's going to, basically get you enough money to pay your bills, and school's going to give you enough of an education to get you a job for life. But this is going to set you financially free. So I say, give this as much importance to accountability as you would when you're at school and when you are in your job. So I don't apologize for being a boss-like persona to you as you're learning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and it's important. And then you can do the same. You do it with kindness and you do it with encouragement, but you can do the same when you are the accountability partner and people are calling you.
Yeah, I just signed a new consultant like a week ago, and so now I'm having to be her, mentor, and you don't have to be a mentor. You have to be an accountability partner. You might, to be a mentor, you need to have all the skill sets that you need, which you may do, but don't feel you have to be a mentor, because all you need to be is someone who guides. When you're like an MC and an RC, your job is to be, as a leader, is to lead them to the business presentations, lead them to the training, lead them to the team calls, not necessarily to lead as in mentoring, because as an MC and an RC, you may not quite have the right skill sets yet. Right. So your job is to get them to the right events. Yeah, I said that wrong.
Okay.
Like I contacted her tonight, and I said, I told her in the beginning before she signed up, I said, now if you're going to do this, I said I would commit to being at least go to a meeting once a week, and I'll point you in the right direction. So I texted her earlier, and I said I reminded her of the meeting tomorrow night, and I said, I really want you to get to know everyone there, because the leaders that we have there, they're great, and they'll help you. And I said, get to know them and get their phone numbers, and they're there, to help me if I've got a question or I've got a bill that needs looked at. I mean, I reach out to them every time.
Great, that's perfect. And did you get her on the Purge call?
Yes, I did.
Good. Was she on?
Yes, she was on it last night. Now, we were so busy today at work. We worked together. I haven't had a chance to even ask her what she thought of it. Okay,
cool. Well, I don't know if you saw up on Facebook, but you and I were famous. I put a picture, because we took that picture of you and I together, which I love, by the way.
I didn't know there was a picture of us on Facebook.
Yes, I always post the recordings and stuff like that. They're up on EC Riders right now, and there's you and I are up there smiling and stuff. So so you'll see us there. You're famous now.
Okay.
You can't get away with it. All right. So now let's. I want to make sure we've got a couple more invites done. So So Trixie, what about? Is it Tammy?
Okay, I've got my list here. Let me see. Tammy, she's next. Tammy, yes.
Okay. So tell me about Tammy.
So Tammy is Tammy's a nurse. We worked together, oh my God, probably 15 years ago. We worked in the emergency room together, and I've run across, she lives not too far from me, maybe 10, 15-minute drive, and she actually works with the same company I do, but at a different area. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, I sent her I didn't have her phone number. I sent her a message on Facebook, and I said, hey, long time no see, let's catch up. So I said, what's your phone number? So she sent me a message and gave me her phone number. And so I called her one time, maybe a week and a half ago, and I left her a message. Hey, it's Heather. Let's get together and go out for a coffee or something sometime and catch up. And we've kind of been playing phone tag back and forth a couple times. So she doesn't know what I'm doing. She is married, has a son that's probably a senior maybe this year or a junior, and just the one son. Her husband, I know they have cattle or something like that. And she's run a little small business before. A couple years ago, she had a little snow cone stand in the town I live in. So I know she's kind of an entrepreneur, and that's why I thought of her, that she may be good at this, and she's well-spoken, and so that's So
how would you like to approach this?
Oh, with Tammy, let's see.
How long has it been since you last saw her? 20 years? 15 years?
Oh, no. Probably a year or two ago. She actually came and interviewed at where I work, but she didn't get hired. She just didn't want to work for, certain doctors.
So are you feeling like this should be a two-part approach, or are you quite happy to call her and go directly to her?
I think direct.
Great.
I think.
Okay, good. I agree.
Yeah, I think if I basically said, hey, let's go out and have coffee, and told her up front, there's something I'm, doing on the side. I'd like to share it with you at when we go out together. If maybe something you're interested in, it may not be, but let's hook up and just have a get caught up. That's all. I mean, we have a lot.
Yeah, take a look at it. Here's the words you want to get used to saying. Is there are certain little phrases that are really visceral to me. Let's take a look and see if it makes sense for you.
Okay.
There's a really nice little short line. So I can hear you tripping up what to say.
Uh-huh.
So you know her pretty well. You know she's pretty entrepreneurial. The full invite would be being in a hurry and your why and this type of thing. But you have been trying to reach her to get together. But again, you need to be honest if you want her to talk to her about the business. You need to say, look, there's something I want to talk to you about. So I'd say, hey, listen, I've been trying to reach you to get hold of you to get together for some coffee. Absolutely want to catch up, but at the same time, there is something specifically I want to talk to you about. That I've started a new business with my husband. I want you to take a look at it to see if it makes sense for you too.
Okay.
And if you want to be that short an invite, then that would be a way to do it. It may or may not be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. But let's go grab a coffee, take a look, and see if it makes sense.
Okay.
Nice and gentle.
Okay. I'm writing.
So, yeah. I'll send you the link for the recording of this so you can listen back to it. The full invite. So that's a short one. The full invite would be along the lines of, "Hey Tammy, this is Heather. I've been trying to get hold of you. I know you're busy. I'm busy too. Oh no, that would be for a voicemail. No, I've been trying to reach you. Do you have a couple of minutes?" This is assuming you've reached her, and she says yes. They will look. We've been trying to get together for a coffee because there's something I need to talk to you about. Donnie and I are coming up to retirement, and I'm really keen to make sure we've got enough money for retirement because obviously Social Security is not going to be around for us. I'm assuming she's about your age too, right?
Yes, she is. I think we're right around the same age.
Right, and she's married, right? Yeah, she's married. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know, obviously you're the same age. I know it's going to be a concern for you. And the reason we want to get together is because Donnie and I have started a new business project, or you can say I've started a new business project that is not only going to get my retirement paid, but it's going to make sure my parents have a good quality of life as they age. The reason why I'm calling you, a couple of reasons, is first of all, I want you to know what I'm doing. Just want you to know what I'm doing. But secondly, you're the same age as Donnie and I. I know you have a son who's going to be going to college pretty soon, and I want you to look at this because it might be something that would make sense for you too. So you can hear the posture in my voice. Again, that those words are so visceral to me. I'm not tripping over the words. which is why a script is important for you, so you can practice it. And then I would go to the takeaway, which is, listen, Tammy, it may or may not be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But I definitely want you to take a look at what we're doing. And we've been trying to get together for this coffee. Let's get together on Thursday, like around 5 o'clock, 5:30, and take a look. You catch up and take a look at what I'm doing. And again, see if it makes sense for you. It's so gentle to say it that way.
Okay. I like that. See if it makes sense.
Because I had a presentation tonight with a girl who joined. I have a very high closure rate when I show people the business presentation because it's so very gentle. I know there are other leaders out there that want to be doing the sales technique of always be closing, always be getting them to say yes. Well, I don't want to get them to say yes. I want them to reach out to me because they want to do it. Because I'm tired of pushing 100 people when I can have one person following me. If I can run with someone, that's so much better than pushing 100 people. And I had it was actually someone who's going to be a customer, and during our conversation, I was very chatty. She said, she had a couple of horses, and she was kind of struggling to make ends meet with the horses. And she's going to be a customer. Right. And I always have this phrase, which you'll hear me always talk about on the Purge call. I force myself and I promise myself, if I hear pain, I will offer help. I've got it written on my mirror at home for when I'm shaving. If I hear pain, I will offer help. And there it was. I promised myself if I hear pain, I'm going to offer help. I had no way of getting out of it. And she said to me, I struggle to board my horses. Because she doesn't have the land for them, so she has to pay for it. And so I'm talking about being a customer. I said, you're talking about you're going to become a customer and stuff, but you can actually make there's a way to make money from this business, and if you are short of money, it probably is a good idea for you to have a look at what I'm doing in this business. It's been very successful for me over the years. I don't know if it'll be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine, but let's get together tomorrow at Buffalo Wild Wings right across from where you work and see if it makes sense for you. And we did. And we met literally just before I came home. I've got Buffalo Wild Wings in my tummy right now. We got together. It was all very, very gentle. And, I gave the presentation, and she signed straight up, was very, very happy with what was going on. She said, I really appreciate you didn't try to push me. And I said, well, I said I wouldn't want to be pushed, so why would I try to push someone else? And it was very, very simple. I would say out of 10 presentations I do, I'll sign between 5 and 7 people up. Wow. Now, I am pretty choosy who I invite, I have to say, so I do give myself an added advantage because I can be a little bit more choosy now I'm an EC. But it was just that really gentle approach for me, and and it may feel the same for you, but it really, really works for me. And if it makes it more enjoyable and comfortable for you to run the business that way too, then that's great as well. But I just wanted to say, this whole gentle approach works really well. So that's what I would do with Tammy. And let's get one more invite done, so you've got 2 for tomorrow. We've got, is it Jim?
Jim. Yeah, he's
Talk to
kind
me
of
about Jim.
He's my chicken list.
Great. I love chicken lists. Tell me about Jim.
Jim is, I've known Jim for probably 20 years, but just barely. I knew his brother a lot better when I was married to my ex-husband. But anyway, Jim is a married man. I think him and his wife had like 7 children together. And now they're starting to have grandchildren. And he used to go to my church, but he switched churches. And he's into real estate. So we're friends on Facebook. I don't have his phone number. I'm sure I can get it. If I send him a message, I find it, sometimes another thing, Richard, is sometimes I don't know who to approach, the man or woman. But it seems that like with some of my girlfriends that the husband is the more, like I see them as more of the type of person that would do this than the wife. Like some of these men on my list, I know their wives, better than I know them. So, but with Jim, I don't. I'd say I know him and his wife equal. But I think he would, he lives in the town I live in, and I would say he's older. He's probably 60, and I know he works in real estate. I don't know if his wife works or not, but he still has maybe one or two kids at home, and then his oldest one or two is, now they're having grandkids. So
okay, I would. All right, let's kind of attack this. I would upgrade this to a business appointment.
Okay.
A little bit more than an invitation to look at the business. So
okay.
I would say, hey Jim, this is Heather Belle here. Well, you know me from church. I've been meaning to give you a call. Do you have a couple of minutes? And he'll say yes. And you'll say, well, as you know that Donnie and I are very close to retirement age, and I've just started a business, which I'm very excited about, and has a lot of synergy with the real estate business that you're in. And I wanted to make an appointment to come and talk to you to show you what I'm doing, because we may be able to work together. So I just wanted to give you a call to see what time is going to be a good time for you.
Okay.
So so now what we're doing is making a bit more of an appointment.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's, hey Jim, this is Heather Belle here. We went to church together. I'm in a little bit of a hurry right now, but I've been meaning to give you a call this week. Do you have a couple of minutes? So there's the hurry. Now we're going to talk about our why. Say, as you know, Donnie and I are approaching, retirement age, and I've got to make sure in this current economy, this current unknown economy, that I have my, retirement fully paid up. I also want to make sure I can take care of my parents as they're aging as well. So I've started a new business project. I'm really excited about it. It's going very well for us. It's absolutely going to get a retirement done and sorted out. And I want to basically make an appointment to come and see you. I want you to know what I'm doing. I want you to see what I'm doing. There's synergy between our businesses. And I'm not going to throw in there it may or may not be your cup of tea.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for the moment.
Okay.
And I'm just going to make the appointment. Say, what's going to be a good time for us to get together?
Could you tell me the reason why?
What's that? We're going to get together because you want to show him what you're doing.
No, but you said when you said don't say this may or may not be for you. Why are you? Is there a reason you're leaving that out?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
It just felt to me viscerally. It felt that I don't want him to feel like he's being sold to. I want him to see what I'm doing, so that there's an opportunity for us to do business together. He can refer me customers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to get together because there's some synergy there, and then when I get together with the presentation, I'll say, look, I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you two parts of a video. And at the end, then you can see what I'm doing, and we can see if there's what kind of opportunities are there for, being able to refer people to each other. And who knows, actually maybe something that would make sense for you to do in your real estate business as well. You might even want to insert that in there as well. Because it may make sense if he's in the real estate business to have an ambit position.
Right.
Because the one thing about realtors is they're always going to be gathering customers, but they're also always going to be bumping into people who are upsizing and downsizing. So, people who are divorced, people who are, they're empty nesters. When you're a real estate person, you get to know your customers pretty well. And if if he's putting a single dad into a new house because he's just got divorced and he's struggling with alimony, wouldn't it be great to say, well, look, let's get the house and everything done and out the way, and then I may have something that will help you make some extra money to make sure you can get the alimony money for the ex-wife together.
Right. Good idea.
There's all sorts of so it's very much a synergistic business relationship you're going to go and talk to Jim about. You're going to keep it on a high level. You're going to posture. It's a business deal. You're making a business appointment where you want him to see what you're doing because there's synergy in our business. You're going to go there. You're going to show him the video. I would show him probably the first part. And get a feel for where he is in the first part and say, well, look, as you're looking at this, obviously you can see I'm looking for, for customers and referrals and this type of thing, but this may be something that could work well with your business as your, it may make sense for you to hold an AMP position as well. But that's in the presentation, not in the invite. The invite for right now is about making an appointment so you can sit in front of him and show them the video.
Okay.
All that other stuff is going to be done in the presentation afterwards.
Okay, I understand now. Question I thought of today. If I'm talking to somebody, when I say, hey, I've started this part-time business, and if somebody, Ambit is kind of getting around where people, people have heard of Ambit, and if somebody just outright said to me, is it that Ambit thing, which I've heard.
Is it an Ambit thing? Yes.
Yes. What's the comeback with that?
Are you already in? Yes, it is. Are you already doing it?
That's what I said. Okay, are you already doing it?
I'm assuming if they've seen it or they know about it, they're in. Because if you don't do Ambit, you're an idiot. I truly, in my heart, that is what I feel. If you've looked at Ambit, unless you have all the money and all the time you need, if you've looked at Ambit and you're not doing it, you're an idiot.
Okay.
And so
I feel the same way when I first, I became a customer. I was a customer for several months, and when I finally said to my friend, like she was talking about it, and I said, well, tell me more about this Ambit thing. And she said, well, why don't you come to one of the meetings? So I went to one of the meetings, and the first thing I said to her was, why haven't you told me about this?
Right.
I said, why didn't you tell me about this? I could have been doing this like many months ago.
I bet she's thinking,
because
why didn't I tell her about this?
People are, okay, some people maybe they say, oh, I can't talk to people. I kind of understand that about some people that are just recluses and they don't, they're not outgoing and they don't want to talk to people at all. But if I'm going to try to get 15 customers to save myself money on my electric bill to get free electricity, why not be a consultant and get those 15 customers under me instead of, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Why not make money on it?
So, but let's finish that opportunity let's finish the coaching opportunity here. So someone says, is it that Ambit thing?
Yeah.
I would say, yes, it is. Are you already doing it? Okay, so that's my first response.
Okay.
And then they're going to respond in one of a couple of ways. They're going to be like, oh, my God, no. Or no. Or, you get all sorts of different things. Or like, oh, I had a look at it, and, it wasn't really my cup of tea. There's going to be all sorts of different responses.
Uh-huh.
And so if someone says to me, is it that Ambit thing, and they're negative about it, I'll say, well, it's been really, really successful for me.
Okay.
You know, if they're saying, "Well, are you doing that ambit thing? Are you doing that?" Yeah, it's really been very successful for me. Absolutely. You really should take a look at it, or you should take a closer look at it.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't do those types of things. Okay, no worries. I'm not convincing them. Screw them. They're stupid.
Yeah. So yeah,
You know,
I
have to have that
never
posture.
lie to. I would never say. Well, I mean, if somebody came outright and said, "Is it ambit?" then I feel like I'm going to have to say, "Well, yes, that's what it is."
Right, but then that leaves the conversation at a stop. So you have to have a question and say, they say, "Is it ambit?" And you could say, "Yeah." And so that's why I say, "Yes." Are you already doing it? Are you already an ambit consultant? Because then that continues the conversation. They've got to answer the question.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I've been doing it for 6 years. I love it. Or, no, I would never do that type of business. Or, no, those things don't work. And if they say, no, those things don't work, I'd say, wow, what experience have you had with this type of thing? Because it's working really well for me. Oh, I did Amway back in the day, and, I just couldn't sell. I just found it was I became a snake oil salesman. I was constantly selling. And I would then say, me too. I don't like these types of businesses. I did Amway, and I failed too. But that's because you were selling. That's because you were selling products. When it's electricity and you're saving people money, then this business really works. You should take a look.
Okay.
It's got to be in your enthusiasm.
I'm glad I asked you that.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me too. It's another training opportunity. All right. Well, we've been a lot longer on this call than we would do on a traditional accountability
call. I'm sorry. Must be your good luck.
No. This is perfect. On our accountability calls, we've got a bunch of people going to be listening. So I've got to make sure that we take all the opportunities to coach where we can. But when you're doing an accountability call with your new MC, you want them to be about 10 minutes. You don't want her to be dreading the accountability call, thinking, oh, God, I haven't got half an hour or whatever. We've been 40, 50 minutes on this, but there's a good reason why. There's a lot of good coaching opportunities. So that's another coaching opportunity right there. Accountability calls, make them about 10 minutes. And get off the phone and make sure that they're set up for the next day. Sound good?
Okay. Sounds awesome.
Did you have any other questions before we go, my lovely?
I can't think of any right now other than I need sleep because tomorrow's going to be busy.
Yeah, I'm still in the office right now. I've actually got to get this edited and up and on the Facebook page for tomorrow. But good. But here's the thing as well. Now you're a victim on the call, right? You did the call last night, and you've had an accountability call tonight. You can see why there's, it's fine, isn't it? There's no need to be nervous, right?
No, there's not. I told Patrice, I said, you need to sign up now.
Patrice Boatwright, you mean?
Yes, I told her if she does.
Oh my God!
Pretend I'm her. I'm going to pretend I'm her, and I'm going to sign her up.
I love Patrice. I'm telling you, if I had Patrice on this call, we would have so much fun.
I know. I said, I'm the underdog here. I said, you've been doing this for years. You need to get on there and do this.
And I believe I saw that they just promoted to senior as well. I think I saw that on the Facebook
they
page.
did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, my lovely. Well, I'm going to let you go. Go get some sleep, sweetheart, and I'll see you tomorrow. Still text me, by the way, to let me know that you're available, and then I'll meet you on this line again. Okay. I'll be at the Mesquite meeting until probably 8:30, so it'll be around then that I'll text you. No problem. Call me when you need to. We've done calls later than this before, but thanks very much, Heather. Have a super night, and good luck with your calls tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Okay. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All righty. Bye-bye now.